Joining us today for Primetime Local News is Austin Burgess. Thank you so much for taking the time to be able to speak with us today, Austin.
Thanks a lot, Shelby.
Really happy to be able to have you on here because, of course, online, many residents have interacted with your posts and we've all been seeing it. And you offered free rides for people celebrating New Year's Eve. Now, what inspired this idea to make sure people got home safely?
Yeah, for sure. So the reason I did it is simply to keep the drunk drivers off the road. I know New Year's Eve is, I'm sure the RCMP knows, I'm sure everybody knows, that's the day that most people get hit with the DUIs, with the impaireds and stuff like that. So what I did was I wanted to make sure that people had not only a safe ride home, but also a semi-fast way home, because I know lots of cabs in the city took anywhere from 1 to 3 hours to get a ride. And don't get me wrong, I took a while for some people, especially after that midnight bell dropped, but it was definitely a fun night and everybody was super nice. And it's definitely something I'll be doing in the future as well.
Yeah, have you done this in previous years, or would you say this is the first time that you wanted to do this and help people getting a ride home?
No, this is the first year that I've done this, especially on New Year's. It's the first time I've done anything like this where I've just been offering rides to people for free or anything like that. Of course, it's not something that many people do very often, but it's something that I think is definitely needed on a day like New Year's Eve, especially when drinking is usually people's first priority and finding a way home is the second priority. So if somebody, even one person, saw my post on Facebook, so gave me a call, got a ride home instead of drinking and driving, I did my job, right?
I know you're already kind of bringing this up, but do you plan to continue this every New Year's Eve or kind of doing it in the future?
Yeah, for sure. As I might even do it on other holidays as well. I know graduation weekend is a popular one. And if there's any other big parties or anything like that, of course, I'm going to offer my services. I have a really good car that works really well, and I got nothing but time on my hands. So, of course, I'm going to help out however I can. And like I said, the biggest thing is doing it to keep drunk drivers off the road. It's one of the things that everybody knows how bad it is, but for some reason people keep doing it. And it's one thing that, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to change it alone, but hopefully a couple people can see me and just realize, hey, I have other options rather than drinking and driving or anything like that.
No, exactly. I think with this idea, you kind of are going to be inspiring other residents for sure. Because, like, even with seeing it online, you got many interactions, lots of positive feedback. So, how many people would you say contacted you for a ride for New Year's Eve?
I'll be honest. If I was a five-man crew, I wouldn't have been able to keep up. I had around 75 missed calls at the end of the night. I ended up staying up until around 4:30 or 5 a.m. giving rides all over the place. Every single time I dropped somebody off, I got another phone call and I couldn't refuse it, right? I had enough Red Bull in my system to keep me going all night if I really needed to. But overall, I gave around 54 rides, and I didn't really count because it was so busy, but I'm going to guess around 120 or 130 people got free rides that night.
Wow, that is so many, especially just knowing how many rides you can give through one night. It truly is inspiring and amazing to see. And it's really good to see that, so many people did reach out and chose that safe option. How was that feeling, would you say, of having people choosing to get home safely rather than drinking and driving?
Oh, it's great, right? Don't get me wrong. Drinking is so much fun, but if you get an impaired, it's going to affect you for the rest of your life, right? So it's one thing to not only help that, but also, of course, it's preventing accidents as well. So as long as what I did saved one family from a heartbreak or a potential heartbreak, I did my job.
No, awesome. Thank you so much once again for joining us today, Austin. I'm really glad we're able to speak and help get the word out. And I think it's truly inspiring what you did New Year's Eve. And I'm sure many people out there thank you as well. So thank
Hey, well, I appreciate it. All I ask for anybody that I gave a ride to is pay it forward.